When you were supposed to put this review out a few days ago, but then you end up getting food poisoning or what? Damn. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews Hip Hop Data. We got an album review today. We're talking about the brand new album that just fucking dropped that everybody been waiting for. I mean, not that long. It's been like 2 weeks since he announced the shit, but goddamn, we was waiting and itching and scratching like the last one. This thing always have us fiending for shit. But this nigga's finally back with a new album. He warned us with The Heart Part 4, and then he gave us a little bit of a teaser with the single, dropped a release date on the day he said he was gonna drop some shit, and then he dropped the shit on the day he was gonna drop the shit. And now we're gonna talk about the shit. Talking about the new album from Kendrick Lamar entitled Damn. Now, for those who don't know, fuck it, you know who he is. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna waste my goddamn time with that bullshit. You should know, and if you don't, you're fucking up. Damn is the 4th album from Kendrick Lamar. It is the follow-up to the classic To Pimp a Butterfly that when that shit came out, it took the whole world by storm. And then he dropped an Entitled and Master, which is like B-sides and shit. And then we didn't expect him to drop anything, and then he comes out of nowhere with some new shit, and we know goddamn well we gonna listen to it. So now let's see if Damn is a damn good album, or if it's an album that makes us say, damn, Kendrick, why didn't you just fucking wait? Why you gotta keep putting shit out when you don't need to? You gotta wait a good year? What the fuck, nigga? Let's talk about it. All right, y'all, so there's a lot of damn things that I want to say about this damn album, god damn it. So we're going to do this sort of like I did the Khaled review in a way. So basically, I'm just going to break down each song and then kind of say what song means and then how it all connects, because there is a sort of theme and a sort of thing that I kind of figured out about this album on 2 separate sides, so I'm going to let y'all know that. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to run through the producers and the features, and then we're going to just garner through all the damn songs, and I'm going to give you my general thought of what this album really is about. So first on the producer side, we got The Alchemist, Bad Bad Not Good, Cardo, DJ Dahi, Mike Will Made It, Soundwave, Terrence Martin, James Blake, Tay Beast, and Ninth Wonder. Okay, so those are the producers, and then with the features, you got Rihanna, U2, Zakari, Anna Weiss doing some vocals, Steve Lacy doing some vocals, K Tronada doing some motherfucking vocals, and then we got Kid Capri doing some vocals with the DJ thing. So those are all the features, and they all do a good job. They're not overdone on here, which I like. They're in there just the right amount, just a nice little dash and sprinkle of it. They're not overdone, overused, and I like that. So I didn't have any problem with any of the features on here, as well as any of the producers on here, because they all, for the most part, did their damn thing. Now we're gonna break down these songs, and I'm gonna let you know what I took away from this entire album, because there is a concept here, there is a theme that I picked up, and there's something like I ain't watched anybody else's review, y'all, so I don't know. Maybe it's just me, maybe other people figure this out. I don't fucking know, but this is what I picked up from it. So we're gonna break down the songs, and I'm gonna give you my take on this damn album. Let's talk about it. All right, y'all, so there are 14 tracks on this entire project, and they are all interconnected in some way, shape, or form. So we're going to start from the top. So the first track is Blood, which really isn't even a song. It's sort of just a regular intro, and it shows Kendrick is seeing some lady who seems to be in distress. He sees that she's probably lost something or she's looking for something, so he goes there to help her out, and he asks, excuse me, ma'am, have you lost something? And she replies, yes, you have lost something. Your life, nigga. And she shoots that nigga, like right there. Cold blood in the streets, nigga. Like some thug gangster shit. And that's how the album starts off, and it starts off with this small little theme called Is It Wickedness or Is It Weakness? You decide, are we gonna live or die? Now remember that shit, because that's very, very fucking important, y'all. Then it goes into the song DNA, which has probably one of the hardest beats on the entire project. Mike Will Made It does the beat. Crazy beat, 2 beats on there. The second beat is fucking crazy as hell, but it's pretty much Kendrick talking about what his DNA is made up of as a black dude, as someone from his culture, the good and the bad. He even likens himself to Jesus at times, because he's sort of like going with that sort of theme and that sort of godly theme in a way. So he really just focuses in on that and just talks about who he is and what makes up his DNA and what has pretty much shaped him to be who he is. And then goes into the song Yah, which is short for Yahweh, which is the Jewish or the Hebrew version of God. And in this song right here, it's a very low-key beat, very mellow and smooth, but there's a lot of key points in this song. Actually, Kendrick hits 3 key points. I got it all right here, y'all, because I actually took notes this time, y'all. But the first point he hits is that, he's dealing with his own theories and suspicions on what exactly it is that he should be focused on. And he finds out that to him, he should just be focused on his earthly possessions, the things that he's worked so hard for to attain, the lifestyle he has. That's what he's gonna focus on. He also talks about the situation with Fox News, where they pretty much criticized him for the song All Right, and also what Geraldo Rivera said about him. But he was like, I don't give a fuck what Fox News or Geraldo Rivera with his crusty ass ass mustache has to say, because my niece thought I was dope as fuck for being on TV, and that's all that matters to me, which is a dope ass fucking way to see the shit. The last point he hits is that he really doesn't consider himself black anymore. He considers himself a true Israelite in a way, based off of what he's learned now, especially what he's learned from his cousin Carl, who he said told him the real story about the true people of Israelite, and it really made him rethink and restructure how he just thinks about everything. But with that, he still has that struggle within him to be able to stay tied to these earthly possessions and these things that he just loves to have and loves to deal with, that he really can't just shed for this new life that he thinks he should be living, or he sort of wants to live, but he can't fully go 100% there. It then goes into the song Element, which has another one of my favorite beats on here. It's a very low-key beat, but it does have some nice little drums on there, a nice little woo sound. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's dope as fuck. And it's pretty much just him addressing, I guess, other rappers or other competition or anybody in general who's trying to take him out of his element. Now, I don't know if that means just on a hip-hop sense or if it's just him personally trying to take him out of his new element that he's trying to fit himself in with his newfound religion. I don't know if that's what he's getting with that as well, because it could be in that way, but it's definitely him addressing also these rappers who are not saying anything right now, but like if they say his name, then it's gonna be a serious fucking problem. So basically Kendrick's like, yo, I'm not gonna do shit, but if you say my fucking name, it's fucking war on your motherfucking ass, motherfucker. And then it goes into the song Feel, another low-key, real mellow beat, but it's pretty much Kendrick just talking about how he feels about certain things and how he just feels like nobody's really praying for him or looking out for him, but so many people expect him to look out for them in a way. He's like, yo, that's fucked up. Like, just because I'm Kendrick fucking Lamar, I mean, I gotta do all this shit for you and nobody does shit for me. That's fucked up. And Kendrick feels like he just needs to disassociate himself from all these people that are just not looking out for him, because there's no point to keep him around you if they ain't looking out for you. What the fuck they doing? Just mooching off your ass. And nobody likes a moocher. Nobody likes freeloaders, especially, I mean, I'm just saying, it's not a good thing in life. I mean, I don't know, because I'm broke as fuck, so I ain't got nobody freeloading off my ass, but I'm just saying if I did, I probably wanted to fucking leave too. It then goes into the song Loyalty, and this features Rihanna, and this is more, I guess, with the more commercial sounding type song. And at first when I heard it, I really wasn't too high on it, but it did grow on me. And actually when I started breaking down what the lyrics of the song were, it really did grow on me a lot more. And basically it's Kendrick just addressing like who is he really loyal to, or who's really loyal to him in a way. He wants to really know if the people around him are really loyal to him, like, because right now he's winning, so of course they loyal to him, but like what if some shit happens and Kendrick just falls off super fucking fast and super fucking hard, and then he's like broke as fuck, he eating cheese sandwiches and sauerkraut and shit, then niggas gonna still be there grilling this shit with him on a fucking George Foreman grill, or what? Or you gonna leave? That's probably what's gonna happen. They're probably gonna leave, because nigga, cheese sandwiches are not the fucking business. The next song is Pride, and this is a very dope song. I like the beat on here. It's very low key and mellow in a way. It really gives me an Andre 3000 vibe with the whole sound and the vibe of it. Got some nice vocals from Anna Weiss. And as far as Kendrick on here, he's pretty much just talking about his issues with pride and how it sort of conflicts with his newfound wanting to sort of like become one with his religion in a way, because now he's reached this sort of status where he's pretty much the hottest nigga in the game. He's got all these things, all these things he's always wanted. And he himself has to battle with these things, because he says in a perfect world, I would be able to pick my religious beliefs over these things, but this shit's too fucking good. Like, I love being rich and famous and having all the shit in the world that I could ever ask for is good. Like, why the fuck would I not want that shit? And another thing that's sort of symbolic about this track is the beat itself is very low key, like I said, but the song is about pride, which pride is about being strong or profound or out there, and the beat is sort of more reserved and more, I guess in a way, humble. So it's sort of like the flip of what Pride would be with the beat, which is actually very interesting. The next song, Humble, is sort of a flip on the previous track, Pride. It's actually the single that first came out, which really announced the album, but the beat on here is another Mike Will beat, and this is pretty much the opposite of humbleness. It's in your face, it's out there, it's hard hitting, just like with the Pride beat was low key, so it's just a flip. But in this song, instead of Kendrick telling himself to be humble, he's actually telling other rappers and other people to be humble, because he doesn't want to hold down his pride, because he doesn't want to make people feel insecure. So basically in this song, he's saying, yo, you need to just sit down, be humble, and let me do my goddamn thing, because I'm the fucking greatest right now. You need to just accept that shit and quit the bitching, nigga. It then goes into the song Lust, where in this song it's another beat that's sort of like low key in a way, but it's pretty much Kendrick just talking about daily routines of people going through things or doing things that they lust over, whether it be, you know, just things you do for fun or things you do for just pure enjoyment, things that really don't benefit you from a religious standpoint, but it's things that you're used to doing so many times every day that it gets you through your day and it brings you that joy and happiness that you think you need on this earth. He even talks about him doing it himself and that he wishes that he could do better, but it's just so hard for him to stop doing that shit. He wants to sleep in sometimes. He wants to like have bags full of money and just go out and keep doing that shit every fucking day, because he knows the Lord watching. He knows God watching right now. He's like, yo, I know you looking at me. Just don't don't just wait. Give me a little bit more time with this fucking success right now, and then you can come and fucking scorn me. Just right now, I'm just enjoying this shit, God. Just come on, look out for me. The next song is Love, and this is probably my least favorite song on the entire album. I don't hate the song, but it just wasn't one that really stuck to me as much as the other songs. And this one here is pretty much a love ballad that Kendrick did for his fiance Whitney Alford, and pretty much is saying like, yo, are you still gonna love me if like all this shit went away? Are you still gonna be down for me? I'd rather you be truthful with me than anything else, because sometimes you never know. Cheese sandwiches could happen. Cheese sandwiches and sauerkraut could be around the fucking corner. I need to know you're gonna be on that Foreman grill with me, cooking it up. That's what he wants to fucking know. It then goes into the song X-Rated or Triple X, whatever you want to fucking call it. And this is pretty much a song where Kendrick gets a phone call from one of his homies whose son just got killed in the streets over some money. And he's like, yo, Kendrick, my son just got killed in these streets, man. Like, I don't know what to fucking do. I mean, I know you recently just found the Lord, so could you give me some wise words to like help me get through the goddamn times that I'm going through, because it ain't good right now. It's not good for me. And you thinking Kendrick's gonna give him some nice words of wisdom, but instead Kendrick just flips the script and says, nah, nigga, fuck that. We live in these streets. You can grab the burner and fucking kill that motherfucker like he killed your motherfucking son. Revenge on that ass real quick, because that's what we do. We gonna X-rate on this nigga. Fuck the bullshit. If it was my son, I would have shot him twice, plus 3 more times. And the real crazy part is that at the end of that same verse, Kendrick says, yo, hold up, I gotta call you back because I gotta speak at this convention. And he's talking to kids about gun control literally 2 seconds after he just told a nigga to shoot a nigga. He's told himself, kids, don't shoot niggas because we gotta get this gun control under control. But I just told my friend to kill somebody for killing somebody. Because like, pray for him. Pray for him. The next song is Fear, and I really, really like this song. It uses actually the same beat that was used in The Heart Part 4. One of them is done by The Alchemist, which is always going to be a fire-ass beat because The Alchemist always brings that flame. But this is an interesting song because it's broken up into 3 different verses at 3 different stages of Kendrick's life. When he's 7, when he's 17, and when he's 27. Now, they all deal with certain elements of fear at those ages. So at age 7, he's talking about being afraid of his parents for not doing what he's supposed to do and getting his ass beat. You know what it's like when you was a kid and you didn't do what you're supposed to do and you was afraid you was going to get your ass whooped? That's pretty much what it was like when he was 7. And then with the 17 verse, he's pretty much talking about just living in Compton, living in the streets, and being afraid that he won't see it past or make it to 18 or just dying in the streets as just another no-name kid who was just another victim of the streets and just of the gang life and whatnot that he was surrounded around. And then at the 27th verse, he's pretty much saying, yo, I made it to this level of success, but I'm afraid that I'm going to lose it all. I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to sustain this amount of wealth and success, so I don't want to spend any of my money. I don't want nothing crazy to happen. I don't want that same shit to happen with Rihanna's account and I'm having my shit because I'm going to go crazy. So basically, he's just really just being really, really protective and really, really guarded when it comes to that, because he just does not want to go back to Section 8 and cheese sandwiches. He does not want them cheese sandwiches. Kendrick knows the power of cheese sandwiches when it comes to just your depression and your fucking will being crushed. It then goes into the song God, where Kendrick is pretty much just talking about his successes and pretty much how he's gotten to this heightened level where he pretty much just feels like he's God, or he feels like this is what God must feel like, because like he's pretty much laughing to the bank. He's pretty much just can do whatever he wants. He can pretty much just be at the top of the food chain, which he pretty much is, and he's just basking and relishing in that. And he's pretty much just solidifying the fact that he has reached God status, not only in hip hop, but just in his life in general. And it's just some shit that he just wants to fucking show off and tell everybody about. I mean, you ain't got it. We know. We see it. We see it, Kendrick. You ain't got to tell us, but we know. We see it. And then it goes into the final song on the album, which is called Duckworth, which is produced by Ninth Wonder. And it's like 3 or 4 different beats on there, which is all fucking crazy as fuck. And it's pretty much a story of Anthony Top Dog Tiffith, I think it's we're just gonna call him Top Dog, and Ducky, which is Kendrick Lamar's dad, and pretty much their storied history as far as we know how they came about knowing each other and pretty much what resulted from it. So basically, it talks about how Top Dog grew up. He was pretty much a big time gangster in his hood, and you know, he really had a name for himself. He was pretty much known as a bad motherfucker that you don't want to fuck with. And Kendrick's dad was just some dude who came over from Chicago with $500, decided to get a job at KFC, and you know, and that was pretty much it. And then pretty much what happened was in this song is that, you know, Top Dog would always go to the KFC, and you know, Ducky knew that Top Dog was a bad motherfucker, and that bad motherfucker also robbed and shot somebody at that KFC. So Ducky was like, I ain't gonna be like them niggas, so let me give this nigga some free chicken, 2 extra biscuits, and be real nice to this motherfuckers. I'm trying to live today. I got a son and a girl, and I ain't trying to lose none of that shit right now. It's a good ass job that just gave my fucking benefits. I ain't losing that shit. So basically, it just talks about all the fucking situations that happened with that, and then it ends up as a result as Top Dog actually does try to rob the fucking KFC again, and he lets Ducky live because he likes that nigga. He's like, that's the nigga who hooks me up with the free chicken and the 2 extra biscuits. I can't shoot that nigga. That's the hookup. You never shoot the hookup. That is an unwritten rule in the streets. You never shoot the hookup unless the hookup no longer hooks you up. And that nigga Ducky was hooking him up all day. And the real unsung hero of this song, y'all, I have to say, is not necessarily Kendrick with his great storytelling, not Ninth Wonder with the great beats, not even Top Dog or Ducky with their stories. No, no, no. The real hero of this story is the KFC that hired Kendrick's daddy. Now, let me break it down. If that KFC did not hire Kendrick's daddy and just hired some other random, non-generous, non-free chicken, two-biscuit giving motherfucker, then Top Dog would have shot that nigga out of his ungratitude giving motherfucking ass. We would have not fucking got no fucking Kendrick Lamar situation because Ducky would have been working at like fucking Popeyes or some shit. It's good though, they got some good ass biscuits, I'm not gonna lie. But he would have been working at Popeyes, so he would have never came across Top Dog, and then Kendrick would have grew up to work at Foot Locker, asking niggas if they want to buy the shoe cleaner with their size 12s. No nigga, I don't want the shoe cleaner, nigga. I know it's a hustle, fuck that. But the final thing about this song is that at the very end, the song sort of plays in reverse, so it goes through this reverse spinning where all you can hear kind of all the songs of the whole album going in reverse, and then it starts off again with So I Was Taking a Walk the Other Day, which is how the album starts off. So it's sort of like, you know, you gotta play it in reverse in a way, and even Kid Capri at that last song says, we're gonna do it in reverse. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down what I generally get from this entire presentation of front to back. And then I'm also gonna tell you what I got from the album from listening to it in reverse, because I actually listened to the project in reverse, and I actually pieced together sort of another storyline which could have made sense. I don't fucking know. I don't know if anybody else pieced this together, but goddamn it, we gonna see. All right, y'all, so before I get into the concept, I will give you my top 5 right quick. And so it's pretty much DNA, Element, Pride, Fear, Duckworth. Top 5 best songs on the album to me. So when it comes to the overall concept of this album, I got it written down here word for word, so I just want to let you know I'm reading this shit off because I wanted to make sure I said it right. So here it is. So after listening to Damn, I see that this album is rooted in extreme duality now. The basic theme of this album is that Kendrick is at a point in his life where his religious ideals that he wants to follow directly conflict with the lifestyle that he has made for himself with his high-level success in hip-hop. He wants to follow the word of God and live those ideals, but cannot resist the earthly temptations and pleasures that he has worked his entire life to achieve. Kendrick knows that he is damned, but can't or doesn't want to change the way that he lives out of his fear, his pride, the things he lusts, the ones he loves, the questioning of certain people's loyalty, his lack of his own humbleness, and pretty much what is built into his DNA. That is also the reason that he dies in this album, because he's already damned. Whether getting shot by the lady in blood was a real situation or symbolism, it shows that he decided wickedness and showed weakness. Is Kendrick not fully going through with his religious ideals an act of wickedness, or is it an act of weakness, or is it both? The answer is both, because he chose to live wickedness and also weakness. He died by wickedness because he thought he saw weakness in another. So that's how I broke down the first half of that album, as far as with the front to back. Now, I've heard people say if you play the album in reverse, you get a new sort of storyline or a new sort of concept with it, and I think you do get that with it. So here's what I got listening to the album in reverse. So it's played backwards and the message becomes backwards in a way, but still gets you to the same scenario. Kendrick is damned. If the album starts off with Duckworth, it starts off with an origin story where Kendrick literally dodges a bullet due to the wickedness/weakness decisions of Top Dog and Ducky. Fast forward to now, he's the greatest rapper and feels like he's God, but he also lives in fear that he will lose these things that he has come to terms with, and is also coming to terms with his religious ideals, starting with the words that his cousin Carl told him. But he still has this triple X or X-rated feeling built into him that he still has the same violent nature, even though he's trying to change that. He needs to know that the one that he loves will still love him, because he's now contemplating a religious life that may take away the lifestyle that they live right now. He still also lusts over these daily routines, but knows he should do better. He also feels that he should be more humble, but he feels with his status, he has too much pride to do so, and he puts it on others against him to be humble instead. Kendrick also starts to question the loyalty of others around him, so then he starts to dig deeper into his loyalty to God. He does this because he feels like nobody is looking out for him or praying for him, so God may be the only one that he has in the end. He sees that his competition is trying to take him out of this newfound element, both spiritual and on the hip-hop side, and he is willing to die for what he has earned because he doesn't want to let it go. Through this decision, he has decided to make Yah, or God, secondary and focus on the earthly things, is because he realizes that that is just in his DNA and who he is. And in the end is what causes him to shed blood. So that's what I got from that if you listen to it backwards. I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking too much on, but that sounds like a plausible fucking way to produced that album on a reverse side. So if that's what that is, that's fucking dope. If not, I'm a fucking genius for piecing that shit together by myself. I'm proud of myself, goddammit. But it is a dope concept on the front end and the back end, and at the end of it, Kendrick is still damned and he still dies in some way, shape, or form. And I gotta say, y'all, this album really grew on me. When I first listened to it, I really wasn't too impressed with it, but that was because on a sonic level, it's not as impressive as To Pimp a Butterfly or Good.Kid.Maad.City, but the flip side of that is actually the lyrical content and just the concept and the deep detail and context of what Kendrick is saying and doing in this album. So with that, when you pick up all that stuff, it is a very genius and brilliant album that is presented. It's just something that you really have to sit with and listen to and process to really get what's really going on in this entire presentation. And other than the song Love, which I said I didn't love the song, but I didn't hate it, all the songs on here are pretty strong and pretty solid, and they all come through with some meaningful lyrics and the ones that carry along the story and the structure that Kendrick is trying to portray in this entire project from the front end as well as the back end, which is no easy feat to do in a full album. So I think Kendrick nailed his point with this. I think he got his point across. I think it's something that people won't really understand or get until a few listens in, quite a few, but it is an album that I think is very unique and very different, but it also is very accessible compared to other albums on the sonic base, which is really cool. But if you really dig into it, it's probably one of Kendrick's more complex albums that he's put out in recent times. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that Kendrick Lamar Damn is an overall well-produced, well-put-together, well-complex album that has a great story built into it that takes a little while for you to dig into and get, even though, except for one song here, most of them are really good. All I'm saying is that the production on here is really, really good. Very accessible compared to all the stuff that was on To Pimp a Butterfly and even Good.Kid.Maad.City. I think this is more of a take back to a Section 80 days in a way, but it sounds good for Kendrick. I like the production on here. I like what he's doing with the beats on here. I love the features on here. They all do a good job. And overall, it's a really, really damn good album. I think Kendrick really did put a whole bunch of focus and detail on this concept, and he executed it very, very well. Is it better than To Pimp a Butterfly or Good.Kid.Maad.City? I don't know, because it's so different. I can't really compare them. It's so hard to compare, but I do think he's put out another great album. I will say that shit. So all I gotta say is that for me, Kendrick Lamar, Damn, is 100% Granddad approved. Definitely go check it out. I'm pretty sure you have, because everybody's been listening to this shit, but if you have not, check it out. It is a really good album, a lot of deep meanings in there that you have to really listen to and break down and really get. But on a sonic standpoint and a song standpoint, there are a lot of good songs in here that you can just enjoy just from the listenable standpoint. But when you really dig into this album, there's so much more to it that's really, really fucking dope. But I got nothing more to say. Kendrick Lamar, Damn, is Granddad approved. So go listen to the shit right fucking now. Or listen to it again, because you probably listened to it 20 million times already. Flip it. Alright, y'all, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of Kendrick Lamar. Damn, if you heard of it. If you have not heard it, then what the fuck you been doing all your goddamn life? Because everybody been listening to this shit like every goddamn body. But it's a dope album, great concept, very complex and very detailed. So make sure you sit with it for a good while to really understand everything that Kendrick was doing. But he did put together another great piece of work. So just go out and listen to it. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Previous videos on the side as well as my latest single. Check that out. Show us some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Links in the description below. And subscribe. Button on the screen. Button below, Woolly Reviews, twice a week, as well as CDK Studies in the gaming channel. Check all that shit out. Indie Spotlight, if you want your shit spotlighted, info below. And I ain't got nothing more to say. So until next time I take my leave, Granddaughter, Kendrick Lamar, Damn. This is a damn long review. This might be the longest damn review I've ever did in my goddamn life. Damn, Kendrick, shit, nigga, fuck. But it's all good. I'm out of here.